Yes, Mr. Tariq Abu Samra with us. Thank you very much for being here. It's an honor to have you with us, all right? Your story is really inspiring. I don't know how the hell you went from $25,000 in investment to selling for $100 million. And maybe this is why you lost a lot of weight, no? Right? Because so, first of all, just to kick things off, who is Tariq? For those that don't know Tariq, please go ahead, tell them who's Tariq.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here, and it's lovely to meet most of you. I've mingled with a few. Thank you for the opportunity. I mean, Bloomingbox still is a baby in our eyes, but to some people it sounds like a big business. But we still
$100 million as a baby?
I mean,
when does it grow?
I think the intention, and I think founders can probably vouch me on this, is not really money as a, sure, money is an outcome, and we're all one way or another aiming to secure more and more income. But the reality is, in my humble opinion, we're after a sense of achievement, we're after growth, we're after an impact, hopefully legacy, leaving something behind that has made definitely an impact on the market or on certain consumers, which is why we're blessed to be in this industry, because we hopefully make people either happy every day. We could be a cause of someone apologizing to someone, expressing someone's emotions to someone else. So we're here to hopefully help people build more meaningful relationships, because that is really, I don't want to burn it off, but that is really the essence of why we live, to build more meaningful relationships. And we like to take a transaction or a part of every transaction between every emotion communicated between two individuals. So in brief, that's why we exist as a business.
How long have you been doing it?
Bloomingbox officially went live 7th of Feb 2018.
Okay.
A year prior to that, we had worked on the business, obviously. So it's coming up to 9 years, I'd say, in November.
Okay, so you had just one business before that?
A few.
Okay.
Some unofficial, some official.
I know they failed, most of them.
Well, I mean, yeah, sure.
Yeah? No,
yeah.
you tell me.
No,
I
for sure. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here, no?
Okay, exactly. All right, so here's the question, all right? If you would pick one of these businesses that didn't make it, all right? First of all, can you imagine you just have someone right here in front of you who actually had a couple of failures and today is handling $100 million in sales. So I think that alone, all right, should tell you something really big. But going back, all right, if you would pick one of these businesses, let's pick one. Which one would you pick?
Before I pick one, a small correction.
Yeah.
We're not at $100 million in sales.
What?
Inshallah soon.
Okay.
We're at $100 million valuation.
Valuation. Okay.
Big difference.
Big difference.
Just to make it
okay,
clear.
That's great. Thank you for jumping in.
We have to clarify.
Okay.
Just so I don't get robbed.
Great. So you won't send your legal lawyers against me too.
Okay. Perfect.
Great. $100 million valuation. So if you would pick one business that didn't make it, which one would you pick, just so we can start out of there?
I'd say Tozy.
Tozy. What was Tozy in one line?
Tozy was well, back when, you know, the loafer socks, which is the invisible socks, were not a thing. We tried to make them a thing. Me and my best friend at the time, still is my best friend in case he sees this. And we just wanted to jump into a business because we were so hungry to launch a business together. Okay. And it just seemed like the perfect idea. But we both had full-time jobs, so we'd meet at night.
Okay.
And yeah, we couldn't give it the right amount of energy, I would say. Although we really thought it was successful.
That was my next question. So do you think the reason why it didn't work, because today you have Bloomingbox, and Bloomingbox, I think, you know, most of the females of the UAE, at least, I know you've launched in Saudi.
Yeah.
You have a huge brand equity in the UAE. But going back to the one that didn't make it, do you think it was because of the lack of energy? Or was it your best friend?
I think it's the wrong reasons to launch a business. All of you founders here, I think, really ask yourself, why are you launching a business? A lot of people don't have the answer to that question, unfortunately, because people think it's money.
Yeah.
Really, people think we want money. And sure, money is a beautiful outcome. We respect money, but you're meant to build a business so that money works for you, not the other way around, hopefully. I think because we both invested into this very emotionally and there was no logic backing it properly. We were immature, we were very young. We lacked I would say, experience from every aspect. So and plus energy and time was not, you know, it's a, I don't like to say that comparison, but a business is like a baby. You cannot just hand it over to a nanny 24/7. You need to give it attention till it's able to stand up and talk and walk, and eventually it goes off.
But the AI agents are our nannies, new nannies today.
That's true. That's true. Scary.
By the way, prepare your questions because I'm going to give the whole floor, all right? I'm going to give you all a chance to ask Tariq whatever questions that you might have, all right? To my next question, which is, because I know you launched in Saudi, I think it was a year ago or a bit less, a year ago. What worked? Which channel do you think worked for you in Saudi versus which channel worked for you in the UAE? Just so we can have a context of the difference of channels that worked in each of these countries.
So I think one surprise that came to us was we were under the impression, because I'm a Dubai kid like you and I was raised here, and we're very familiar with the culture. You know, I'm a Dubai kid. We're Dubai people, and so we really know the market very well. We know the culture very well, and we were under the impression that the Saudi consumer behavior was very similar. And although the culture is very similar, but the behavior is very different. And so, for instance, people there only buy through apps. Very rarely would they go to a website and make a purchase. Of course, some do, but the vast majority use an app. Versus UAE, we didn't have an app. We just launched an app June 2025 because we wanted to go to Saudi. So that was one of the main, for example, differences that we realized.
It was just a website here, right?
It was just a website, and then we had to build an app to go to Saudi. Well, we realized that Saudi did not respond well to the site, so that's when we built an app, and then we launched it and rolled it over in last June.
Okay, interesting. Actually, this is quite interesting. And you know, if you would go back, you know, let's say back a year before you launched in Saudi, and you know, would you have done things differently? Put the app thing on the side, right? But if you try to remember what you were going through a year ago, is there something different that you've done on a marketing acquisition channel? Are there different channels that you would have used back then, or you would tell yourself to use? Anything different that you would have done?
Look, just a quick backstory. We're a self-funded business. We never raised funds throughout the history of Bloomingbox. We've raised the fund through angel investors, which is family and friends technically, at the early stages, but never raised the fund. So we decided to go to Saudi using UAE's money. I don't think it was the best decision, because Saudi requires a fund, in our case at least, because to acquire customers in Saudi is such a massive market. You cannot just simply depend on what we and how we built it here 9 years ago, right? We had that room back then, but I would say we would not enter the Saudi market on a very small scale. We would have went all in with the right fund, with the right structure, hoping that we built the right core in Saudi.
So you would have taken a bit more time before you launch in Saudi,
yeah.
just to put...
Or secure a fund, either.
Secure a fund.
Yeah, or secure a fund.
All right, great. I have a lot of questions, but I would love to give my audience the chance to ask their own burning questions. Guys, we can... Is it working?
Yeah.
Guys, we can only ask him 102 questions. Don't go too far. Just who would like to ask their first question? Anyone? There you go.
Why didn't you raise funds?
We psychology, I guess. We always look at raising funds as giving away the company, and it's not healthy, by the way. What we're doing is not right. And we could have taken the business to many different places had we have chosen to raise funds, but we have this thing where we want to hold on, and that's probably our biggest mistake. But look, it got us to this point. And by the way, when you're limited on funds, you become very creative with spending, and that's a very necessary, in my opinion, a very necessary journey that every entrepreneur, or that's the fancy term now, every business owner needs to go through. Because when you have access to funds, and we've seen it, we were part of other startups in the past, both Jaya and I. By the way, Jaya is my partner. We didn't even talk about him, just to make sure that he's also in the picture. We've both been part of startups in the past that raised funds, and we're talking about big funds. And we know exactly how companies can just blow up those funds because you're so tempted, right? You've got the money, why not go and spend? And so I guess we wanted to go down that route to learn, and also not to give out equity at that stage because we always believe in the next 5 years potential. But I completely agree that we could have, we should have, but I don't like these terms. So it is what it is. We're here now, and we can raise it tomorrow, so it's not a problem.
Okay, I have a super random question, and I apologize in advance. But how did you get the idea of putting flowers in boxes? Was this an existing model somewhere else, and you're like, hey, let's do it here?
Yeah. So to give credit where it's due, Bloomingbox as a concept came to life. I'm not into flowers. At least I wasn't. I don't know if I am. Maybe I am a bit now. I should be at least. But the truth is, my background is e-commerce, and so is my partners. And there was just a gap. I was trying to order flowers for my mom using one of the platforms back then. This was back in 2016. And I'm a bit big on UI and UX, and I'm a bit anal with these things. And so when I was trying to find the right experience, I couldn't. And I felt that there's a gap. Long story short, I realized that there's definitely an opportunity to what we call today accessible or affordable luxury. So offering something of high product in terms of design, packaging, but at rates where most people have access to. And it wasn't easy to achieve. It took a bit of time, but bought the domain name first because Bloomingbox as a word, hopefully, is appealing because you can remember it. You can link it to Bloomingdale's, and my mom's friends think I own Bloomberg. So it really is good. You know, it sticks around. So yes, there was a company back in Russia which was the pioneers of the box concept. I would like to say we maybe took it to a different level slightly. We introduced a few different, like packaging, special paper packaging. We were the first to introduce. Everyone was using normal paper. Our paper is actual special paper. That's what they call it. So when I say black paper, it's actually black paper. It's not black painted paper. So, but anyways, so there was a company. We came in and we just slightly elevated, I would say.
Yes, I wanted to ask, at what point was that magic moment that you knew this is actually working? Things are working. Like, what do you remember that moment?
Yeah, of course I remember that moment because it's a double-edged sword. So 7th of Feb, we launched, and all I did at that time, because it was only me and Jaya, and we had tied up with a flower event supplier to create the products based on SKUs for when we get orders, because we were not certain, are we going to get orders now? But we launched a week before Valentine's on purpose, and we just created one campaign. This Valentine's Day, a Bloomingbox is coming your way. That's it, with the picture of the box, sent it through WhatsApp to friends and family, launched it on Facebook for $100, and I went to sleep. And then I wake up and we have 70 orders already, and I was shocked. And I was like, what? This is actually working? Okay. And so we were sold out for Valentine's from the entire quantity we got from China, because back then we would produce in China. And we tied up with a reputable delivery company back then. And they were meant to deliver all our orders on the 14th. So 13th night, we get a call to say, sorry, we cannot deliver because someone paid more. And in my head, I'm thinking, like, really? We have 7 Emirates to deliver to. We have about 200 orders to deliver. What do you do? So, of course, and it's Valentine's. And it's very sensitive. And of course, now I can tell you stories about Valentine's Day. By the way, I have my head of product and head of customer service here sitting both. So they've seen it all throughout from the beginning, Yani. So, but the truth is, we obviously had to call friends and friends of friends, and we went on the road, and we were delivering through 7 Emirates from 7 a.m. till midnight. And I remember delivering to one house in Jumeirah, and she wanted to give me a tip, but it was a bit weird. But I saw something which was very interesting. She teared up when she got the gift. And I would never think that someone would tear up from getting a gift. It's not, maybe as a man, it's not a common thing that we see often. But that made me realize that our e-commerce is an emotional commerce. It's all about the emotions. And look, we were delivering for 6 months, so we really saw many of those. And I think that's when we realized we're onto something, and we're giving back in a way, hopefully. Thank you.
Any other questions? Actually, I would love to ask a question as well. Did you ever deliver a bouquet to the wrong girl? Well, you're telling your team, it seems like.
Look, we've really seen it all. We were almost the cause of a divorce. We were almost. Let's address the elephant in the room. When you're in such a business, which is very time sensitive, packaging sensitive, location sensitive, card sensitive, it's very sensitive. So the wrong card message can cause dramatic issues. And like I can stay here for hours and tell you about stories that are very entertaining and very hurtful at the same time, but we've seen it all. And luckily we've seen it early because we learned a lot and we somehow developed the right system today. But yeah, we've delivered for sure for the wrong girl and to the wrong location, and we've done it all. Look, I remember one incident which was very interesting. A guy was delivering to his not wife, and he placed the order. Did someone say sister? Yeah, sister. You're right, absolutely, sister. And he placed the order. We usually call to confirm address and availability and get the location in case you mark call receiver for instructions, which... Huh? No. The story gets better, wait. So we call him up, as the team calls him up, and gets the address, and instead of giving the correct address for his girlfriend, or sorry, his sister, he ends up giving his wife's address because he thinks he's getting a normal delivery. He doesn't know it's Bloomingbox, although he placed the order. Yeah, God is great, right? And so I think he realized maybe 2 hours in that he gave that address, and I remember him calling us and just saying, "Hey, did you guys deliver?" We said, "Let me check with the driver." We called the driver. He's like, "Sir, I'm outside the door." I said, "Wait." Just minutes before arriving, we managed to save this guy's, hopefully, relationship. Of course we play that. We play all games, guys. You can buy from us anything.
Hi, thanks for that story. Somewhat of a weird but specific question. What is something that you waited too long to do that in retrospect you should have done earlier?
Hire a finance manager. I think finance is one of the most underrated departments in a company, both finance and HR, by the way, because you take care of your money, you take care of your people, they take care
I'm
of
a
you.
tax agent.
Yeah, well, that came in later, a bit later. But the truth is we always neglect, we focus on marketing, product design, looking good, selling the right service, but we neglect finance for some reason, and we neglect HR in some cases, at least in our case. But today, luckily, we have the right agents running our finance. So I wanted to connect with, where is he? Yes, we're going to connect, we're going to talk soon, for sure.
Next question.
Dara, right? Dara, yeah.
Next question. Yeah.
How do you see AI integrating into your business and benefiting it?
I'm firing everyone. No. I think, look, AI is, if you guys haven't gotten on Claude, this is your sign. Don't hold back. I've been pushing the team to get on it for the past couple of months. Honestly, what it has done for the business and for the world, I would say, is phenomenal. AI is just an absolute beast of a tool. And for those who know how to prompt it, you guys can build miracles. And I think we're building phenomenal things with it, really.
Questions? Yeah, no worries.
Who was your first hire, and when did you do that?
We hired our first florist because we decided to leave the hybrid model with dealing with the event company. So we had to take a small space as big as 3 by 3. Hired a florist, which was also a driver, part-time, which was also operations a bit. That was our first hire. I remember we met him. It was a bit of a weird interview. We took him out to Costa. His name was Dexter. I mean, he's still with us. And I remember throwing a joke because I was nervous for some reason by our first hire. And I said, "Are you Dexter from the show?" Just, trying to throw a joke. And he gave me such a serious face. And I told Jaya, I said, "I don't know, man, do we hire him? Do we not?" But then he's still with us. He turned out to be the best candidate for sure.
Hi, just a question. Normally, business tend to develop other verticals. Like, you are into flower, which is very synonymous. But it generally goes like a package. You buy the flower, you buy the cake. You buy the cake, you buy the doll.
Yeah.
Is that something you do, or you're focusing core on only the flowers?
Yeah. So I think
the road from here.
I think the biggest misconception is that Bloomingbox is a flower company. We're not a flower brand. We've spent approximately 7 million dirhams per year on marketing, trying to tell people we're not. But I think we just have to face it that people think of us as a flower brand. We're actually a gifting brand. And obviously, because flowers have been the gift choice since Pharaoh's days, and they were the easiest market entry product. So we did enter with flowers. And our first logo had the flower in a box icon. So that just kind of put the positioning as a flower company. But yeah, we do have cakes. We have, one of our best things is our collaborations. We've collaborated with Netflix, the first local brand to collaborate with Netflix. Global, we've collaborated with Mercedes-Benz, Batil, Dolce & Gabbana, you name it. We've really taken it to another level in terms of their product line. And yeah, we even have popcorn machines in the office. We sell popcorns. You can deliver. That's true. We have actual popcorn munchies boxes by Netflix with Bloomingbox. We have a whole kitchen set up. So we're very diverse. We have chocolates and plants, but no, I think we're stuck to flowers, unfortunately.
Any questions? Great. From Dexter to the guy who sent the wrong girl. I'm surprised you're still alive, by the way. to to the great experience that you've been providing, the local ecosystem. I think you've done an incredible job, and it's my honor really to have you on this stage.
Honored. Thank you very much.
And thank you so much for today.
Thank you guys. Thank you very much.